5-spoke Friday. Here we're back. Another little update with the hatch. Kind of exciting day. Here's the opening of the bumper. I'm actually trying to film this with the DJI Osmo gimbal. So just kind of bear with me here as I'm figuring this out. So the front bumper is pretty much wrapped up. Just got to trim the inside of the bumper so you can kind of see. I don't know if the zoom will work. No zoom works. But yeah, if you kind of look in there, got to trim back the bumper a little bit. Oh. So you got to figure that out still. Probably put it back on the blocks and then trim that off. But overall, the look looks pretty cool. Kind of race car-ish. So kind of happy with that. So I'm just gonna just clean up all the sprayed urethane that came out when I cut the hole. But today's video is basically about, oh, there it is right there, is 5-spokes. So got my new wheels in. These are gonna be the street tires, if I can get the camera to rotate. These are gonna be the street wheels for the hatch. They're Billet Specialties, StreetLites with a black face. This base is just I guess apparently now it's a custom size. They don't really stock anything anymore. A long time ago, I had a Mach 1, it was an 04 Mach 1, that I had the 17x7s in the front and 17x10s in the rear, that I had for quite some time. Or I think I had 15x10s in the rear with the 275/60 radial that I used to drive around. But the 17x10s were pretty common to find at Summit, but now they're not. So these are the fronts. These are the Comp 5. I guess the race version of the StreetLites. So this is the lighter weight version. It has the curved spoke to get some caliper clearance, which you can kind of see it's pretty close right there. The Schrader cap, or the tire chuck cap, actually hits the caliper, so I basically had to take it off just to get it to clear. I'm probably gonna put like a 1/4 inch spacer on this thing just to get it to just kind of come out just a little bit. It's a little tucked in there. So honestly, like I said, I'm doing this with the DJI gimbal, so still trying to learn how to use this thing. But yeah, I'm gonna do a little spacer to kind of get it to poke out. And then here are the rears. Obviously Mountain Dew. What's up with the sponsor? This is kind of my trash pile over here of all my cardboard I gotta cut up. But here are the 15x10s, StreetLites. These are specific to the SM95 for large brake rears. So like this is technically designed for the Cobra brakes, which it's real tight in there. I don't know if I can get it to show, but the caliper just barely clears. I had to trim down the banjo bolt for the calipers for the brakes, the brake line, just to get them to fit. So it's super tight in there. But I've always been a fan of the Billet Specialties StreetLites. The rears, eventually I'm gonna do a single bead lock on the outside, or the outside face. I can't do a bead lock on the rear inside because how close it is to the caliper. The bead lock will end up eventually, or will hit the caliper, so it'll just be a single bead lock wheel. Unless I convert to GT brakes and have the Brett Boy brakes with the Adrian, then I can do a double bead lock because it's a smaller caliper, smaller rotor. But since this car is really going to be driven around more on the street, and I just have the slicks and skinny, or have the slicks for the drag set up when I'm doing the drag and drive event or at the track, I want to keep it with the Cobra brakes. But yeah, they just came in today. I actually got to call the place I bought it from. It's one of the reps for Billet Specialties, because I guess they don't sell directly. You have to go through one of their vendors. They were supposed to include the lug nuts and the valve stems, which thankfully these actually take the same lug nuts as the slicks, the 15x10s, and I actually have an extra set of the valve stems, which these I guess they recommend the bolt-on style. not the regular push-on ones, which if you look at this right here, if I can get the camera to figure itself out, these are the bolt-on, those are the bolt-on stems. If I can get it to show up. Yeah, so that's a bolt-on stem. That's what's recommended, I think. Or is it a bolt-on stem? No, I don't think so. Actually, yeah, that is, I think, a bolt-on stem. And then this is the regular standard valve stems that get put in. So I forgot to drop off the stems when I did the slicks. So they just put those on. So when these slicks wear out and I get the new slicks put on, I'll have them swap out the stems. But yeah, here's the other set. And yeah, so I'm gonna be heading over to Ace's Wheel and Tire over here in Fremont to get the radials put on, which technically don't mind the mess. Started moving things around, which were right there off the Cobras. So I'm gonna put a regular set of like 245s on the Cobra wheels so I can sell those. Then I'm gonna use those radials for the Billet Specialty wheels that I have here. So I'm gonna head over to Ace's right now, and then actually I gotta get the tires on the Ram rotated. Supposed to do them every 10,000 miles, just to keep the warranty, because they're supposed to be guaranteed to 50,000 miles. So we'll see if they actually wear that long, which I still have tons of life left. And this is, I think I've had them for 20,000 miles now. This is my second tire rotation. Basically what took up a chunk of the mileage was driving to Ohio and back. So yeah, can't wait. But the wheels look good though. Really happy with this. It was about I think it was like almost 6 weeks from when I ordered it till when they showed up today. So not too bad. I'm just happy they showed up now, because I have 50. Heather Nichols actually can correct me if I'm wrong, if she's actually watching this. She's the one of the main promoters, person that runs and owns the Redwood Rally. So I've been going back and forth with her for the last 3 years about the dates. So this will be the first year I'm actually gonna make the Redwood Rally. First year I was gonna take the El Camino, I think. I forgot what I was gonna take for the first year. Yeah, I think actually, the first year I was gonna take the El Camino, then I took it apart to put the Terminator, or I took it apart to put the Sniper on it, which I never finished that, and then I got it running after, and then just recently, about a few months ago after I finished the hatch, I put the Terminator out of the hatch onto the El Camino, and then put the HP on the hatch, and then, so that's the first year. Second year is, I bought the hatch. We started working on it in February, thinking, oh, well, we have like 6 months to get this thing together. Got everything together, and then was fighting electrical issues, and the harness, and the car wouldn't run. It would shut off, which I think it ended up being really just a bad distributor and bad TFI module. So I bought I think it was the Davies Technology module. So that fixed all those problems, and I put the hauling on it. But also ran into issues with the registration on the car, because this thing sat for like 18-19 years in a barn. It was out of the DMV system, so dealing with smog and all that, because wonderful California screwed me up. So that basically, I think I got the license plate literally the day the Redwood Rally started. So it's kind of one of those things of, hey, it is what it is. But I've been supporting them every year. I've been buying the ticket to go to the rally, and basically just haven't been able to make it. So I've been supporting them in that way. This past year, I've been pretty much buying into some of their larger raffles for raffling off stuff. There's a trailer, a drag and drive trailer I'm trying to win. I think this past raffle I bought, I think 10 or 20. I think it was 10. 10 spots. Actually, I think about 20 spots. Trying to get this thing to turn. Nope. About 20 spots. Yeah, you can kind of see the shadow of the gimbal right there. But about 20 spots for the trailer, because this is my current trailer right here. But the other one's an enclosed 4x6 single axle aluminum trailer that I'm hoping to win. So this next raffle they're going to do for the second trailer, I'm going to probably buy half of the tickets. So it's going to be a little costly, but I can pretty much turn around and sell this trailer for about $1,000, if not a little bit more. So I think I paid $950 for this thing, brand new. Added the axle mount, so you can mount a set of wheels on here. These are dual, if I can get it to turn. These are dual bolt pattern, so it does a Chevy bolt pattern by the 5x4 3/4. It does the Ford 5x4.5, which is what I have. And then I added the Milwaukee pack out plate, and then the Milwaukee cooler, and then because the factory trailer uses like a little kind of wimpy kickstand, I cut that off and then bolted on this RV trailer scissor jack. So it's a whole lot easier to basically drop the jack, because the other one, or drop the landing gear / jack, because the other one, the arm would bend, or the little mount that hold the arm for the pin would bend, and it was just kind of really bad setup. So I went to the trailer jack, which I think there was someone on the Olympic streetcar shootout that had it, and then I seen some other guy have it, and it just made more sense to me, just because I have an impact already in the trailer. So I just got to get the socket, drop the jack down, and I'm done. And then I added some new safety cables. But yeah, overall, it's a good trailer. I just would like to get the bigger trailer. So one of my stickers are already peeling off. Because next year, my plan is obviously to do Olympic streetcar shootout and do Redwood Rally, but I would like to try to make it to Big Sky Race Week in Montana, which that's a week-long event. So really would like to make it to that, but I want a full-on trailer so I can have more supplies and more things, because that's an actual week-long, and then eventually make it out to Sick Week. That's the end goal for me, is to make it and survive Sick Week. So eventually, I still got to do a motor for this car, which it'll probably be a 351 base. Still want to keep it a small block Ford, and I'll have Lane do the motor, so it'll be a Fast Lane Motorsports, probably 408, 427 small block Ford, with the turbo and all that. So we'll see. So all right, I'm gonna stop talking, pack these back up, get those other wheels down, and head over to Aces so I can get these tires mounted. All right. Another cool thing, these wheels, I think it was a design change they had. The center caps are actually machined into the wheel, so they're no longer two-piece. So the older style, like the Comp 5s, this is a whole separate piece right here. So when I take the wheel off, the hubcap or the center cap falls out. So I kind of want to glue it in place or something. But that's a design change, which is nice. So that's the old style with a removable center cap, and then the 15x10s are also similar to the 17x10s. It's the center cap's machined into the wheel. All right, so less talking, more get wheels mounted. All right. Oh, there you go. Oh, actually, one thing I forgot to mention, a cool thing aside from the center cap being machined to the spoke, Billet Specialties does this knurling right here on the wheel to basically grab the bead of the tire so it doesn't slip. These are kind of like poor man's or the poor man's bead locks, because the upgrade, aside from the knurling, which this has knurling on both sides of the wheel, so that's nice. The next poor man version above that, the richer poor man, is screwing the wheels down. So you basically do, I think it's like 10 to 12 screws basically cross from each other like a star pattern, and you screw the inside and outside of the tire, which you're basically screwing into the lip right here, and the screw sticks out and grabs the bead of the tire so it doesn't slip as easy, or hopefully doesn't slip at all. And then after that, you pretty much have to do a bead lock. So you do a single or you do a double. So just a cool thing I want to point out. The knurling they do, that's a factory option, which is cool. But yeah, all right, I'm done. Off to the Ace. I said I'd be quiet, but here's actually the bolt-on valve stems, which is actually that one. So that's the bolt-on style, which here's the part number 999 or 999900. bolt-on chrome valve stems. So these are the valve stems that he basically bolts onto the wheel so they don't break off or do anything weird like the other style. Like this is the traditional stock style or normal style that everybody uses. So just wanted to throw that in there. So here we are at Ace's Wheel and Tire, or Tire and Wheel. Phone number's right there, taking care of me. Everything was going good until I got here, and one of the things I wanted done were to swap or rotate the tires on the truck, and I lost my lug nut key. So the truck takes a splined lug nut, so I gotta figure out where the key went, and if not, order another one, because now I don't remember where I put it, which I thought it was in the truck, but I cannot find it because I had they rotated my tires a few months ago before I left for Ohio, and I remember them putting it back in the glove box, and now I can't find it. Or I think it was in my cup holder. Now I can't find it. So yeah, so new problem. Off to Amazon, and hopefully I can find a key. Well, just got back from Ace's. These things look nice. The 275 definitely looks bigger on the 10-inch rim. I think these were 8-inch wide, I believe. So these are 2 inches wider. That's what she said. So the tire definitely looks a whole lot beefier. Things shining. So that's kind of what it looks like. Compare, so 17 by 10, 15 by 10. It's kind of the comparison. Gonna probably swap them out here shortly. Just need to get some food. I'm hungry, so let me get some food and swap these out and be right back. All right, so came back from Ace's. So here's the 17 by 10s, 15 by 10s. 15 by 10 or 17 by 4, I believe, something like that. 17 by 4.5, and then 17 by 10s. Definitely looks nice. I actually may need to go down just a little bit on the rear, because it looks kind of funky with this tire in the back. So yeah, might need to go down. Sidewall or side looks pretty good. It's got a 1/2-inch spacer on it, so probably gonna leave that on there. And then yeah, we're just gonna rock it like this for the rock it for now. I still gotta order lug nuts. I actually just ordered lug nuts off of Summit right now, so it's about 6:45. So hopefully it ships today. It says it's gonna ship out of Sparks, so hopefully it shows up. But yeah, car's looking good. Got the steering wing painted, clean up the moldings in the rear, moldings in the front, got the bumper balance done, big old oval done. Yeah, this car's coming along. So looks like we're gonna be making it for Redwood Rally this year, finally. 30 years of charm. Actually, one thing I gotta do before I wrap up for tonight, I need to figure out what I'm gonna do for see if I can get this open, for a fuel pressure regulator. And then shout out to Adrian. He got me some replacement struts, the MRT struts from LMR. The original set I bought, the shocks blew out. I want to say they were blown from the get-go. They just never held the hood up right. And this set, way better. So shout out to him for all the abuse I give him. But I got to figure out the fuel rails, because I'm still using the stock fuel rails, as you can tell right here. This is a whole mess. Stock style regulator. It's an Aeromotive, I think. Or no, AccuFab. It's an AccuFab regulator. This thing's pretty much maxed out for base pressure. I have the base fuel pressure set to 50. It's pretty much maxed out, so I kind of want to play it safe and slightly redo the fuel system. Change out the stock rails for the Anderson Motorsport rails, and then add in the flex fuel sensor that I have, just so I can get this thing kind of just start getting ready for flex fuel or E85. You can kind of see the difference on this tire. It kind of poked out just a little baby amount. But yeah, 15 by 10s. Kind of happy I finally got the matching rears. And then obviously they'll be sitting on the trailer. And then I actually sold the drag stars back to 187 Performance because we split a set. He got the 15 by 10 drag stars, and then I got the 17 by 4s for the trailer so I could try to look cool. But I decided to kind of change my mind and went back to the stocks. And then sold him the 17 by 4 fronts. So now he's got a matching set. And yeah, here we are. So more things to change, and I'll be probably pulling the intake off tomorrow, start swapping the rails and get everything ready for the fuel pressure regulator, so I can just pretty much have everything ready to go. And once that shows up, I can finish it off. But yeah, we are done for today. Thanks. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all the other stuff that YouTubers say. You know, it'd be really nice to get more subscribers. I think we're at like 120 or so, or 118, 115. Definitely need to try to make it back to Mendota again, possibly go up to Reading, and make some passes up there, because that was where we used to take the Malibu, the Gringo, all the time to go test and go get kicked out of the bar. So I need to kind of kickstart that again. But yeah, other than that, we're looking good. Looks good for a little street car, little 13-second turbo car. Ain't gonna be fast, but at least look cool. So got one or the other. But all right, thanks for tuning in.